Eddie Arnold, will you tell me one thing?
Why, Lola Lane, how are you? Anything your heart desires, Lola.
Well, I was sitting here just now listening to Mr. Zola talk to poor Bill.
Now, wait a minute, honey child. Don't rub it in.
Well, Bill, I believed him, too. But when he started talking about the aroma of Maxwell House coffee, I could almost taste it. Now, I know you serve coffee on this program.
That's right.
Well, where is it? I'm quite sure Bill could use a cup, too.
Well, Lola, we have reached the halfway point in our proceedings tonight, and that familiar fragrance in the air tells me it's time for our famous Thursday evening custom. Say, Meredith, what are you doing over there? Where are you?
Eddie, he's observing our custom already.
For weeks now, Eddie, I've been pouring out the music while Warren pours the Maxwell House. And this week, well, I thought I'd pour my own.
Meredith, man knows no temptation quite like a steaming, freshly made cup of Maxwell House coffee. You're excused. And now, friends, wherever you are, all over America, pull up your chairs and join us in this moment of relaxation over a cup of the coffee that's good to the last drop. Meredith, may I call on you now for the music that goes with it?
Pray do, Eddie. Pray do.
We pause briefly for station identification.
This is Edward Arnold again, and we open the second half of our Maxwell House Good News program with another of Meredith Wilson's New Year specials, a brilliant arrangement of the popular song, Love is Just a Cheat.
Coming from the marketplace, ran right into a pretty face, and you know what that means. But the money in his jeans, the girlie in her teens, the scene is Transylvania, where love is such a mania. The gypsy came from Bucharest, the girl she came from Budapest, now you can guess the rest. So the wine began to flow, and so did all his dough. They danced a little, drank a little. Gypsy played his violin, he sang to her and she to him. He played his violin, he sang to her, and she to him, her head upon his chest. Bright and early dawn, found the girlie gone, leaving gypsy, wondering why. Love is such a cheat, love that should be sweet, leaves and never even says goodbye. One thing is certain, when you're flirting, you will always come to grief. Doctor, lawyer, tinker, tailor, soldier, sailor, beggar, man, or thief. If there's a heart within you, you'll continue ever to be crossed. If there is a miss to kiss, you'll kiss the miss, and never you'll be lost. So let no wine begin to go, wander all you go, dance a little, drink a little, dance a little, drink a little, gypsy, play your violin, sing to her and sing to him a gypsy melody. Though your heart may ache, young hearts never break. You love and you are fooled. Fooled are ye.
Recently, Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer released one of Damon Runyon's best-known stories, Joe and Ethel Turk, Call on the President. currently showing at your favorite theater with Ann Southern, William Gargan, and Walter Brennan. 2 weeks ago, we had the pleasure of presenting Bill Gargan on Good News in the role of Joe Turp. So many people who heard the broadcast and saw the picture have requested more of Joe and Ethel Turp. So, we present another of Damon Runyon's famous Joe Turp letters tonight with William Gargan as Joe and lovely Lola Lane as Ethel. Joe and Ethel Turp go to see Gone with the Wind by Damon Runyon, adapted for radio by Robert Riley Crutcher. There's the mailman's whistle, and here's the letter from Joe.
Dear Mr. Runyon, the other night I took my wife Ethel to see Gone with the Wind. And as you know, it's a very long picture. I did not think I'd be able to take her because I had a job to do at the garage where I work. I was working on a big 12-cylinder car, and the fellow I was fixing it for had to have it by 10 o'clock the next morning, and there was 3 hours work left to finish the job. But it seems that my wife Ethel had other plans. Ethel don't usually bother me while I'm on the job, so I know it must be pretty important when she shows up at the garage. I was under the car when she comes in, and she yells,
Joe, where are you, Joe?
Here I am, sweets, under the car fixing an air leak.
Well, come on out because I got something awful important to tell you.
What is it, sweets?
Oh, Joe, you're awful dirty.
Yeah, well, you can't stay clean when you're fixing an air leak.
But, Joe, I've been waiting for you to come home to dinner.
Oh, sorry, honey, but this fella has to have his car first thing in the morning, and I got at least 3 more hours work on it.
Oh, Joe, and after all the trouble I had waiting in line to get these tickets.
Tickets?
Yeah, and you should have seen the line in front of that movie. Honest, Joe, it was a mile long. Come on, I just know we're going to be late.
Well, listen, honey, we can see the second show.
But, Joe, there ain't no second show. That's why the seats are all reserved.
Reserved seats for a movie? Now, listen, baby, this here car has got to be fixed, and it's got to be done by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. I can't stop just to go to a movie.
Just a movie. Why, Joe, this is an epic.
Epis or no epis, I can't help that, baby.
Listen, Joe, would I stand in line so long my feet hurt for anything less than an epic?
Honey Punch, what is an epic?
Well, you know, Joe. Something that's so big you have to stand in line for so long. Well, your feet hurt.
Ethel, tell me, did you buy new shoes?
Well, Joe, it was this way. I walked into the nearest store, and they had a big sale.
Yeah, big sale.
So I went in and tried on every shoe in the place.
Yeah.
Oh, you should have seen the pair they had for $3.95.
Yeah, I see.
Only they didn't fit me.
Oh, they
So
didn't fit. Go
I
on.
kept walking until I came to another place. And, Joe, you should have seen the pair they had for $12.
1 pair of shoes for 12 pieces of lettuce?
But wait a minute, Joe. I got them down to $7.95.
$7.95. That's $8.
But, Joe, we're going to see Gone with the Wind, and you wouldn't want your wife to go barefoot.
$8. Well, one of us is going to go barefoot. This epis better be good.
Anyway, Joe, you're working too hard. What you need is a little change.
Change? You're telling me. Listen, Ethel, I got work to do.
Oh, go on, Joe, and wash up. We'll be late. We don't want to walk in when everybody's crying and not know what they're crying about. You know, I've been feeling like a good cry for a long time. You understand, Joe?
All I understand is I got a car here with an oil leak that's got to be ready by 10 o'clock in the morning.
But you can get up early in the morning and fix it. Because, oh, Joe, I've already got the tickets and a new pair of shoes, and I want to see Gone with the Wind.
All right, baby, all right. Stop crying. I'll take you to see Gone with the Wind.
Well, then, come on, Joe. It's getting late. The show starts at 8:30.
So, Mr. Runyon, I took my ever-loving wife, Ethel, to see Gone with the Wind. The first half was terrific. Then come intermission. So we go out in the lobby, and I says to Ethel, gee, I'm glad you got me away from work to see this picture because it's great.
Joe, I think we ought to go home.
Listen, Ethel, you take me away from my job on a car that has to be ready by 10 o'clock in the morning. You buy an $8 pair of shoes. I don't even have time for my dinner. I'm crazy about the show, and now you want to go home.
But, Joe, my conscience is bothering me. Your work comes first.
Oh, I'll get up in the morning and fix that leak. Right now, I want to see what happens to the rest of the picture.
But, Joe, you need your sleep. We can come back tomorrow night and see the rest of the show.
But, Ethel, sweets, only tonight you told me you had to stand in line so long your feet hurt you. And you... Yeah, and how about the dough for the tickets?
Oh, don't worry about that, Joe. I'll go in and talk to the manager. I'll fix things up so we can see the rest of the picture tomorrow night for nothing.
Yeah, fix things up. Now, look, sweets, I don't mind you going in and talking to the theater manager. But don't go getting me into any more fights.
Oh, don't worry about me, Joe. I'll explain things to him.
Yeah, you'll explain all right.